Hi, I'm Mike Petrilli, an executive editor at Education Next, and also a vice president at the Thomas B. Fordham Institute. I'm here with my Fordham colleagues, Chester Finn and Terry Ryan, to talk about their new article in the Journal about our experiences on the ground in Ohio as a charter school sponsor. Checker and Terry, welcome.
Thank you very much.
So your article talks about some of our travails in Ohio with a variety of schools that did not measure up for one reason or another, yet our response was not to just simply close them down. Why not? Isn't that what we've been advocating for a long time?
We did our version of tough love, which doesn't necessarily involve capital punishment. It involves trying to fix them, trying to make them better, seeing if there's a way of assisting them if they're serious about being good, helping them get better. The article describes one school that didn't want to be good and therefore basically abandoned us and went to a sponsor that did not engage in tough love. Others wanted to work with us to get better, but that was hard too.
And this is because in Ohio, the way that it works, there's lots of different charter school sponsors or authorizers.
Yep.
Okay, Fordham is one of them. And basically, if a school doesn't like its authorizer, it can go shopping for another one.
Right.
Jump ship.
It can jump ship.
Which is precisely what that school did. They gave us about 2 weeks notice that they thought our contract was more than they could meet, so they were going to jump ship and go to another sponsor, which they did.
Let's be clear that what it was they didn't want to do was work hard to raise test scores.
Yes.
We thought they should.
Right. Fair enough. Okay, so let's talk about the Omega School of Excellence. Now, my understanding is this is a school that was founded by some of the city's leading figures, a couple that were leaders of a large Baptist church, very well respected, had everything going for it. And yet, the school started to fall apart.
Well, the school was founded by a husband and wife that ran the largest Baptist church in town, and it was doing amazing things when the lady who was running it was there to run it, Vanessa Ward, and she was tremendous, had a great school, but her husband ended up getting a brain issue where he was hospitalized for a number of weeks. She then had to take over the running of the school of the church, and as she took more and more control of the church and the congregation, the school itself was basically left to flounder, and we were unable to find a replacement for Vanessa. Somebody could step in and do Vanessa's job, despite the fact we gave a national search for the effort and did our best to get at it, but we struggled.
So,
meanwhile, we were trying to form our own little charter management organization to assist this school and other schools to become better schools and maybe even to take over some of their responsibilities. That foundered too. Finance, personnel, imagination, a whole bunch of things. And when Omega School folded, or when we actually helped it come into a soft landing, when we helped the board of Omega agree to close their own school, which they did, this little nascent infant charter management organization died with it.
And it was made all the more complicated because we were trying to be the doctors helping the school survive, while at the same time trying to help give birth to a charter management organization, while at the same time serving as the charter school authorizer, ultimately accountable for determining whether the school should continue or not. So we were wearing a number of hats, and the only reason we did this is because education in Dayton was so desperate, and we took a risk.
So you know, a critic could say, look, here you have the Thomas B. Fordham Institute, a national organization with a lot of resources, and even you couldn't help this fragile little school be successful. I mean, a school of a couple hundred kids. I mean, is the lesson that this charter school thing is just too damn hard?
It's very damn hard. There's no getting around that. Another lesson is that small Rust Belt cities where bad things are happening are hard to turn around. Another lesson is that when think tanks come down and land on the ground and try to behave like school operators, they don't necessarily know what they're doing either.
And it also comes down to teachers and to school leaders. And we were unable to find a school leader that could step in and do the job. And that was despite a national search. We brought in talent. And actually, towards the end, we think we identified somebody who could do it, and she ended up getting swiped by KIPP to open their first school in Columbus.
Right.
There's a little bit of an HR shortage in Rust Belt states. When you get talent, a lot of people want to hire them.
Okay. Well, thank you, Terry. Thank you, Checker. This article in the Journal and comes from a book that's out right now from Palgrave Macmillan about Ohio's school reform challenges.
Yes, thank you.
That's our book.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for being here.